More corn. Lots of corn in this part of the world. Kind of cool buildings there. Okie then. Slightly in a hurry. People like that, you just gotta get the hell out of their way. Hope they get around you, do all their foolishness up the road away from you. Man, I wish I'd have thought about those shirts before I left home. My wading water metal detecting shirts. Wish I could remember what that stuff is called. Gosh, they've got a name for it. I just can't bring it up. When I get home, I'm going to have to get those out and see how they feel wearing them around in the heat. If I remember correctly, it wasn't bad. It was like, it kept me cool. It like blocked the sun off my skin pretty good, so it seems like they were really comfortable. Fort T Longhorn Ranch, huh? Okay. It's like a nice place. Okay, near as I can tell, we're north of Princeton, northeast of Princeton. It's like this says Verona. It's made this little community is Verona. SUD, which now I know means Special Utilities District, so that's their water tower. So I reckon this is Verona, Texas. If I had to guess, that would be my guess. Yep, Verona. Okay, Verona Baptist Church. Hope y'all like this running around out in the middle of nowhere, just poking around. We're not going to get to do this tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be all business. So we're going to play today. Play today, work tomorrow. Did y'all see my video I put up this morning of Jack and his chicks? That rooster, I swear, he's so nice to those girls. He puts them before himself all the time, all day, every day. He really takes care of them. So, like if Bill goes out and throws him out a treat, marshmallows or something, he doesn't run over and gobble them up. He'll run over and pick it up and feed it to one of the girls. Then he'll get another one and feed it to another girl. He puts them before himself always. Make sure they eat before he does. He's an awesome bird. We're lucky to get him, I think. He's not mean. Like some roosters are just kind of mean. He's not at all. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. That doesn't mean that he won't go after you if you mess with one of his chickens. He will, but he doesn't just go chasing people around to be mean. Some roosters do. Some roosters get a kick out of that. He's not like that at all. He's more of a gentleman. Gentleman Jack. I call him Handsome Jack because he's always thought he was handsome. He preens a lot. You can tell he knows he's pretty. His chicks, they all think he's just so handsome. They follow him around, clucking and talking, sweet talking him all day when they're not disobeying him. If he tries to herd them around, get them to go to bed or something, you know, he tries to get them in at night, they'll give him a little bit of trouble. They won't go till they're ready. So they give him some trouble then, but the rest of the time it's all sweet talk with him. He's a character, though. There's only one of those chickens left that was one of the original ones I raised. All the other ones are dead and gone. But there's one left, Big Hen. She was part of our original batch, and she's got to be close to 3 years old now. I think this is her third summer. So she's the old lady of the bunch, and it took her a while to get used to Jack. There was another older one, but she got eaten by something here a few months ago. So she's the last one left of the originals, but she pretty much lets him boss her a little bit now. I say she lets him because she knows she doesn't have to. The other chicks, they don't know. They're young. He's been around ever since they've been around. So we got him when we had 2 or 3 chickens left out of the originals. And he was quite a young rooster at the time. He wasn't very old. So he's maybe half grown. I think we gave $15 for him somewhere. Money well spent because he really protects the chickens. And I'm hoping that one of them will start sitting on some eggs one of these days. That'd be nice if we could get a new batch of chicks out of the deal. But anyway, we had the older chickens when we got him, so they all just fussed at him. They weren't used to having a rooster around. They were used to doing whatever they wanted to do because we had never had a rooster before. So they kind of took turns, you know, deciding which one of them was going to be the boss chicken. And so when he got Darpleys, he had his work cut out for him because they weren't happy about having a rooster. But they kind of died off, and so we went to a chicken auction, and Bill got half a dozen half-grown hens. They're all Rhode Island Reds. So he brought them home. One of them died a couple months ago. She was kind of sickly to start with. So she died off. Bill doctored her, and she seemed like she was doing better, and then she ended up dead. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think he just found her dead in the morning. And then, of course, the other older chickens, I think they both got eaten by something. Something was getting our chickens, and they got. So now he's got one old one that remembers not having a rooster around, but she tolerates him better since she's the only one left of that generation. And then, because he was there before the other hens showed up, So I think she likes him better than she likes the other hens. They've been around each other longer. But the hens we got at the auction, they just adore him. Bill calls them Jack Swoonies. They're always swooning after him. They chase him around, and you talk about henpeck, that poor boy. He's got 6 hens, or 5 hens he has to keep track of. 4 of them are pretty agreeable, and then the other one's kind of like, well, you're not the boss of me. So, kind of cute though. But he's so nice to them. He just, he'll go out and he'll scratch in the gravel out under the carport, and he'll catch a bug and he'll give it to one of the hens. He just does that stuff all the time. He likes feeding the hens. He makes sure they eat. He's just a real good boy. So I got tickled. I was following him around with the camera this morning. He was crowing, and then he quit as soon as I got my camera out, because I wanted to get a close-up of him crowing, because he puts everything into it. He just looks like he's crowing his brains out. And so I got him crowing once, and then he went back under the vines at the west end of the house. They've got kind of a shady, cool spot down in there they like to get in. So he would only crow once for me, and that was it, and then he was done. This is kind of pretty out in here. There's a lake over there, a big lake. Look at that. Huh. We might see more of it from the looks of things here. We might be getting pretty close. Yeah, we're only 56 miles away, so it's 4:03, so we'll be there about 5-ish. That sounds pretty good to me. If I come across another sporting goods store, which I probably won't out here in the middle of nowhere, I'll stop and see if I can find me a visor yet. This looks like we're going to drive off on a bridge or a causeway out into the middle of this lake, and then turn onto another road out in the middle of this lake. So it looks like we're going to meet up with 380. Out in here somewhere. I don't know about this. I don't like this idea of driving out in the lake. It's like where we're going to go, though. That looks like the option. So maybe we'll get some scenery here. Oh yeah, here's a lake. All right, so it is a bridge. A bridge to a causeway. There you go, Texas Lake. I don't know what lake this is, but we're on County Road 559 right now. And we're going to be turning onto Highway 380. Kind of surreal looking, isn't it? Kind of neat. This intersection out in the middle of a freaking lake. I've never seen anything like this. This is bizarre. If you look at it on the map, like you're looking straight down on it, our road's coming in pointed south, just across water, and this other road's just across water going across the east and west. Very strange. Very, very strange. Never really been on a road like that before, quite. Okay, I'm gonna sit here a minute. This is a 2-part crossing here. We can get to the middle and then we can worry about the other side. That's what we'll do. Get to the middle here. And we got like Dallas traffic coming out. Wonder how far we are from Dallas. This seems like it can't be too far away. I don't know what lake this is though. Oh, come on, cars. There must be half a mile worth more cars before we can even get out here. After this guy pulling the trailer, oh, he's not pulling the trailer, there's a car behind him. After this guy, I think we can go. I think we're going to have to go if we want to go. Sit there very long, we'll have to wait for another bunch of them. Okay, so I have no idea what lake this is. No sign to tell me either. That's odd. Usually there's signs, at the edges to tell you what it is. Maybe this will say something informative up here. Greenville. Okay, this is a whole new way of me going into Greenville. This is amazing. Pilot Cove, Grove Creek. Okay. Farmersville. All right. Well, that's cool. I might be able to find a sporting goods store up here. Let's see. Shopping. Sporting goods. Maybe not. No, I'm going to say no. So evidently we're about 15 miles east of McKinney, Texas. Academy, that's back the other way. Don't want that. Okay, not going to worry about it. Just trying to run me back to Texas. Or back to Texas. Back to Dallas. I have no use for Dallas. None. So I'll just keep my eyes open. If I see a sporting goods store, I'll stop. You'd think a town this size would have a Academy or a Hibbett or something. Of course, Hibbett, that last Hibbett I was at up in Ardmore, that had nothing. They had no choice there, but that was a small one. But they had very little to choose from. Whew. That was all closed too. They didn't have like sporting goods. So that was kind of weird to me. They had a bunch of shorts and a bunch of tank tops, pretty much, was what was in that store. Oh yeah. So Greenville's got to have some kind of a sporting goods outfit. I've never come in this way. I didn't even know about it. So this is very cool. This is totally new to me. Brookshire. Okay, that's a grocery store. I know what that is. This is really neat. I had no idea. Of course, that's not a route that I would ever use hauling a trailer or anything else. Too many twists and turns, too skinny of roads, too many little bridges and stuff. But this is neat, getting to see all this country that I haven't seen before. This is the kind of stuff I really like. Levon and Blue Ridge. Huh. Okay, so evidently I go up 13 more miles and then go right. Now I'm just letting the GPS pick my route because I really don't care. I'm not in a hurry. I'm just trying to stay off the main roads, stay off the interstates. I think I'm going to make a pit stop up here somewhere though. It's about time to get out and stretch. Find a place to pee. Look at these big cranes up on this overpass. Historic downtown Farmersville. Should we? Let's go look. Never seen this. I don't think I've ever been to Farmersville. Why not? Why not? Okay, maybe we'll just go up here to the... Maybe not. Maybe we'll go up here and find a restroom. I get off on these tangents. I actually should stop before I go doing any sightseeing. Been driving a long time now, so I need a break. This might or might not be a good place for one. We'll find out. Ladies' room, no ladies' room. Find out. Anyway, I'll be back. I'm gonna shut this down so it doesn't overheat. Okay, so I don't know what happened to the camera. It shut itself off again. Either that or I never turned it on. But I made my pit stop. I got some electrolyte drinks. And I'm headed into Greenville. And I'm going into Greenville from a way that I've never gone in before. I'm going in on 380 heading east. I usually come in from the northwest side, from Celeste. So this is all new to me. I haven't seen all this before. That could be a problem. Somebody hits that. Somebody dropped a bucket of yellow paint. Looks like road paint to me, so I think somebody had a little foobar there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find a sporting goods store up here in Greenville. Greenville's about another 5 miles up the road, I think. 5 or 7, something like that. I'm trying to get my GPS to give me information, but of course it won't. It's being totally useless. It's kind of aggravating me. So evidently we got another little town before we get into Greenville. It's called Floyd. And like I said, I've never been from this direction, so I don't know what's up here. So I'm actually pretty happy because I haven't seen any of this before. For like the last 50 miles have been brand new scenery to me, and that's pretty rare. The routes I run, I tend to run them repetitively, so it's nice not to be in a hurry and not to have to bust my butt to get over there. It was just too late anyway. There was no way I was going to get there before they closed. So sometimes it's better to slow things down a little bit and not get so overly excited. I mean, it is Monday, and Monday's pretty much shot already. It was pretty much shot when I got the call. as far as time to get cleared this far away from home and go pick something up. So now if I believe what the GPS says, the GPS would have me believe it's 3.5 hours from my house down here to Wills Point. But I've never actually made the trip in under 5 hours. And I've just been kind of poking along today, but I mean, actually trying to make it because either I get stuck in traffic in Dallas or I have to go around Dallas and it takes longer to go around Dallas. So it's not really 3.5 hours away unless you do it when there's no traffic in Dallas. Well, good luck with that, because there's always traffic at Dallas, especially now. There was a time, say about 15 years ago, 10 years ago maybe, when you could go through Dallas in the middle of the day and it wasn't too bad in between rush hours, or you could go through there at the night and it would be fine, but not anymore. Last few times I've been through there, it's been a parking lot, and it doesn't seem to matter what time of day or night it is. So I've just come to the conclusion that there's just so many people there now, and it's just so congested that there's just no getting around it. So you just have to sidestep it whenever you can. So anyway, the GPS says one thing, but I know another in actual fact, in the real world. It would be different if you didn't have to go around Dallas. If you could actually cut through there, then it probably would be about 3.5 hours. But since you got to go all the way around, and there's no easy way to get around it, that's the problem. I was talking a while ago about roads coming out of Greenville in every direction, but they all going into Greenville. You can't go around it because they all go to the center. Well, it's the same thing with Dallas. There are multiple roads going into Dallas, but they all point right toward the center of Dallas. It's like that's the hub of the spoke, and then you've got the spokes coming out that are roads. So no matter what you do, you pretty much have to go into Dallas or close to Dallas. You can't just go around it very easily. I mean, you can, but you have to go way out of your way to do it, which is what I'm doing. I'm going way out of my way to get around it because it's actually probably quicker going this way, even though it doesn't seem like it, because I don't have to sit on the interstate in traffic for an hour or two waiting for it to start moving again. And I don't have the aggravation of dealing with Dallas traffic, so, it's worth it. But, it's just it's not as close to me as they make it sound on the, Google Maps or my GPS. There's the thing that Google Maps and the GPS don't get, and maybe Google Maps will get to where it does, because they've got it now to where it can see the slowdowns in the traffic and it logs that kind of stuff. So it registers it, but it still doesn't change it on your arrival time. I mean, if you plug in for how long does it take to go from point A to point B on Google Maps, it'll come up with the same thing. So it may say 3.5 hours, but by the time the delays and all that, then you're still looking at 5 hours, 5.5, 6 hours sometimes. So, yeah. Academy Sports, there we go. That's what I'm after. That, if I can't get a visor there, then I probably can't get a visor without ordering it off of Amazon. I'm going to check and see about those shirts too, the kind of surfing shirts. They may not even sell them here, but then again they might. You never know. Something that's made to cut UV but still breathe. I'm sure the bike riders wear them too. I don't want anything as tight as what the bike riders wear, because I don't give a crap about being aerodynamic. But I would like something for UV protection and for coolness. I have a hell of a time finding shirts that I can stand to work in. Even a t-shirt sometimes feels like it's just too much worth-wise. You'll cook in them, And then I've got these little sleeve things I wear under my t-shirts because I don't like my arms showing. And they don't, I mean, they kind of breathe, but not a whole bunch. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I can find something to try that and see how it feels. I mean, you don't know till you try, right? But I'm not going to hold my breath that they've got either one of those things in stock. We will see. Just have to go look. But I got plenty of time, so it doesn't matter. I mean, it's 4:30 now. I'm probably 45 or 50 miles away. Not even that far, probably 40 miles away from Wills Point. Then my next thing is going to be finding a motel down there other than the Best Western, because I really don't want to spend over $100. And if I stay there, it will be well over $100. They jack the price up. Every time I go down there, they jack it higher. And that just annoys the crap out of me. I mean, I'm not staying there to be, you know, on vacation or anything. I'm staying there to work, so it's not like it's a for fun kind of thing. Okay. Cool. So this is a pleasant surprise that they've actually gotten Academy Sports down here, since Hibbett didn't have anything in Ardmore. It looks to me like Hibbett's has just gone over to selling clothes. And they didn't even have a whole lot of variety in that. Well, if I can do this without spilling my coffee. Just about got it drank. 4 more miles to the Academy store. So I stay on this for another 2 miles. That's an interesting tailgate on that photography truck. KathyLphotography.com. Quite an interesting tailgate. See, that was plywood. I don't blame them. I mean, if you mess up the tailgate, tailgates are expensive. I'm tempted to pull the tailgate off the Ford and put one of those, like iron. It's not really a gate. It's more like a fence. It's like tube steel maybe, or aluminum tubing, but it just keeps stuff from falling out of your truck, but it gets rid of that wind resistance from your tailgate. I think that's probably why that truck gets worse fuel mileage than this one does, because it's got the tailgate back there catching the wind. And I completely forgot. I was going to look for a Bluetooth backup camera that I can stick to the back of this deal and see on my phone. Something I need to hunt up on Amazon tonight if I can remember to do it. I'm going to write that down. Backup. Up cam. Bluetooth. Okay, this is going to take me right where I need to go anyway. So now I'm on a familiar road. This is the way I usually come in. And I haven't seen any reasonable fuel down here. It's all been high, so I'm not going to worry about it. If I need to, I'll just transfer some over. At some point, I'll run into a good deal somewhere, or I won't. I mean, you know. I came through some, but I didn't have enough room on here to make it worthwhile to stop. Now I'm down to almost half a tank. So I've been getting really good fuel mileage in this thing lately. I think the motor's finally broke in on it. I mean, it ought to be. I got 181,000 miles on it. Almost 100, well, yeah, just over 181. Okay, so I want 34. So it's another 2 miles down here to this Academy Sport. So I assume it's going to be in some kind of a mall setup thing or a strip mall type deal. The ones that I've seen have been set up like that. Can't wait for all these left-hand turners here. You done with your left turns? Good. Now I get to go. 549, 537. These are all too high of fuel prices. Ridiculously high. I'm probably going to see if I can find a route where I cut down across Texas and don't just get on 30 and run over to 49. I really don't want to run through Shreveport. That road is so damn bad, I don't even want to go around there. And I need to get way down south anyway, so there's no point in me going clear over there when I can cut across the body of Texas and get down on I-10 and then run over on I-10 for the last 100 miles of it or so. Probably do better that way. It may take me a little longer, but so what? I don't expect to deliver this until Wednesday morning anyway. I expect tomorrow to be an all-day ordeal. And if it's not, I'll be happily surprised. If I actually get to deliver it tomorrow afternoon, then that's a bonus. If not, I won't be surprised or disappointed. Okay. 9/10 of a mile. Let's want me to get on I-30. I bet it's a 30 service road. I bet it's not actually I-30. In fact, I just about guarantee you that's what it means. Because Academy Sports is not going to be on I-30. It's probably going to be on the service road off the side of I-30. I guess I didn't even really realize that I-30 runs this close through Greenville. It's kind of weird that I would be that oblivious, because I've run I-30 a bunch. $5.37, still not a deal. Oh, they got Brahms down here. Brahms is based out of Oklahoma. They've got their own farm and produce their own dairy products, make their own ice cream. And it's about the best around, really, I think. Their french fries are good too. They got crinkle fries. There's a Hibbett. I wasn't impressed with that. Okay, so just down this service road a little ways. See if I can find this Academy. So this is kind of a convoluted way to get there, but that's right. Not in any hurry. That looks like a Lowe's over there, yeah. Lowe's, Hobby Lobby, Academy, they're all in this. I'm going to cut around the back of this. It looks like a viable route. It seems like they're all in here. From the sign. Driving my GPS crazy here. It can't keep up with me. It's like, what? It's not the way I told you to go. But lots of flowers at Lowe's. Lots and lots. You're okay, honey. I ain't gonna run over you. I ain't gonna rush you. Okay. Y'all can wait your turn, because I'll let the other one go. You can let me go. How's that sound? See how that works? Everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn. Oh, there's a Starbucks right there too. Don't need it. I just finished my Starbucks for the day. I'm not going to have 2 of them today. I don't need to be getting that greedy. Okay, there's Hobby Lobby. I did see something about Hobby Lobby having these visors. I don't know why they would have them, but there was something about it. So once I get done over here at Academy, if they don't have it, I'll check here. Because you never know. Hobby Lobby is another Oklahoma company. Alrighty then. Just pull over here and go find out. When we find out, let's go look. Shall return. Okay, so I'm back. Had to call Bill. He was trying to call me when I came out from the store. So I stopped at Academy Sports in Greenville. Found the hat I was looking for. I just wanted a visor thing that you stick on. You don't have to have the strap around the back of it. Don't know how much I'm going to like it for wearing it for long periods of time. But it should be okay to wear when I'm out tying stuff down. So that's the main thing when I'm out doing that. And I got these fishing shirts, and this is the kind of shirt I was talking about. They wick moisture, and if you get them wet, they dry almost immediately. But you can wear them out in the sun, and they provide protection against the sun, and they don't cook you. So, you know, they're kind of cool to wear. It's 100 degrees out there, and it felt fine having it on. So it's hot no matter what you do, but it didn't feel like it was smothering me hot. So anyway, got 3 more of them back here. And that'll be sufficient. I can hand wash these at the motel, so they're nice and fresh and clean every day, and not have to, you know, have sweaty smelling clothes. This might be a better answer to my shirt problem than t-shirts and the little sleeve things, because that gets kind of hot having that 2 layers, even though the mesh layers are breathable. It was still a relief to get it off and put this on. So, and then once I get in the air conditioning, this holds the air conditioning. I mean, it's like it cools down. I can feel the shirt cool. So that tells me if if I start wicking any sweat or whatever and the wind's blowing it all, it's going to feel cool on this shirt, which is nice. That's a good deal. So this will be much better for my poor old skin than having any skin showing. Don't need to do that. My poor old hair is another story. I don't know what to do about it. I just gotta wait for it to grow out, and then I can braid it and get it out of my way. won't look so crazy. It looks pretty crazy right now. I don't know what to do with it, so what do you do? I don't know. If I knew, I'd do it. How's that for saying it like it is? If I knew, I would do it. Now, I'm 27 miles away from Wills Point. I'm going to check out their little mom and pop motels tonight. I don't want to go straight to the Best Western, or I think it's the Best Western, and pay their $100 a night. I'm going to check out the smaller ones, see if they've got anything less expensive and more user friendly. I'd like something I can just back up to the door of it and haul my stuff in. Those are my preferred type of motels. I don't really like the big ones where you got to go up to the third floor on an elevator, because I think that's kind of creepy. It always makes me, want to have one hand on my gun, that kind of a deal. So, yes, I've got a permit. Don't freak out. I'm trained. I ought to be trained. I carried one to work for, almost a decade. So, yeah. This is why I'm finicky about the places I go. It's the main reason I don't go to California, aside from it being an idiotic state. Their government is insane, and they hate truckers. But aside from that, they don't reciprocate my concealed carry permit. So I don't go there. They don't want me, I don't want them. Fine. It's no skin off my ass. And right now, I guess, anyway, they're having diesel shortages and people are getting stuck out there. I'm glad I'm not one of them. The only thing worse than having to haul something to California would be getting stuck in California and not being able to get home. I mean, that would suck. I don't care how you slice or dice that. That's not good. So I feel sorry for the people who are stuck out there. But I heard something similar last week about North Dakota. Some lady trucker's husband has a YouTube channel. Bill watched it, and I caught just a little bit of it a couple times. And he was talking about his wife being up, I think in North Dakota somewhere, and she couldn't find diesel to buy. So I was like, man, that's another reason to be happy I've got this auxiliary tank. Of course, if it gets to the point where I can't find diesel to fill it, then I'm going to be out of luck anyway. But, what do you do? If it all goes to hell in a handcart like that, there's not much we can do about it anyway. So you know what? I try not to worry about it too much. I mean, I don't want to get stuck out away from home, but I guarantee you if I do get stuck out away from home, I will find some way to get home. I'll find some place to get diesel. If I have to go buy it from somebody and, siphon it out of their tank or whatever, I don't care. I'm not going to get stranded somewhere and not be able to go home. I'm pretty resourceful. That's one of the benefits of getting old. You learn a trick or two along the way. So I can think of a few. Put it that way. I like these nice slow roads. This is unusual in Texas because most roads here are like 75-mile-an-hour roads. And through here, some of these little ones are 55 and 60, so I can just kind of put along. Don't have to worry about, keeping up with the crazy crowd. It's my electrolytes. Mango orange. Well, this shirt is very comfortable, actually. It's real soft. I have this aversion to itchy things, and this is not at all. It's smooth and soft. I think it's going to work for me. I may have to hold off and wear all those t-shirts I got. My cheap t-shirts from Walmart. I may have to wait and wear them in the fall when it gets a little cooler. And I can definitely wear them in the winter with another shirt under them, so no loss there. Definitely they'll be cheap work shirts. These were not cheap shirts. They weren't too bad though. I mean, it was like, I think it averaged out to $20 a shirt plus the visor. So it's not too bad. They were having a sale. So somebody was looking out for me. If I'd had to buy them full price, it would have been, quite a bit more than that. Half again as much, because I think it was buy one get one free, or buy one get one half off. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna flip this around. There we go. That's a better view. Give you something entertaining to look at. Had to let that guy get around me. He was up my butt, pushing. I mean, it's a 4-lane road. I don't know why he was stuck behind me. I had to get over to the left so he could go around. Just get him off me. So I do not like people tailgating me at all. Tailgating is a stupid thing to do. I don't care who you are. It's dumb. I should have got a pair of sneakers while I was in there. If I'd been thinking about it, I would have. The ones I got, I've had the ones I got about 3 years now, and they're kind of falling apart, so I don't even bring them with me anymore. They have no arch support, so not like that's a huge thing, but I've actually got a couple other pairs I could be wearing. I could have thrown one of those in here. Think of it, next time I go home, I'll get my other pair of sneakers. They're not pretty. Sneakers are so ugly now. Like, they're just nothing like tennis shoes when I was a kid. Tennis shoes were tennis shoes. Now they're some Franken shoe. It's kind of, I don't know, they're just bizarre looking. They got too much going on with them. They're too busy. But that's the style, so, it's kind of what we're stuck with. If you want to wear tennis shoes, that's what they look like. So my old pair that I liked really well are just plain black, and then they got like turquoise edges on them, turquoise laces. I dyed the laces turquoise to match. Couldn't figure out why they didn't just come with turquoise laces, but they didn't. They came with black laces, so I finally switched out. The turquoise ones were getting kind of ratty looking, so I switched out for the black ones. And I wish I'd have brought something besides my boots, because these boots are getting pretty hot. I mean, it's into the summer. I may have to give up wearing boots for the rest of the summer and go back to them in the fall. We'll see how I make it through this trip. Or if I see some place in particular, it looks like a good place to stop and get a pair cheap. I might buy another pair of sneakers, but two more miles to go. So this will be probably interesting tomorrow. I'm going to go in real early. I'm just going to get there before all the rest of the big trucks show up. Try to be the first one at the gate, so I don't have to wait on everybody else to get waited on. I may have to get there pretty early to do that, because I'm sure some of them guys are accustomed to it. I may have to get there about 5:30ish and just sit at the gate and wait. But I do want to get there and get an early start. The earlier I get there, the cooler it's going to be out there tying these dang things together. And that's kind of an important deal when it gets this hot. Please don't pull out in front of me. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes people pull up like that and it looks like they're just gonna cut right out in front of you anyway. I hate when they do that. So, number one, I don't want to hit anybody. Number two, I don't want anybody hitting me or causing me to have to like skid to a stop when I've clearly got the right of way. So we'll see. There's a Walmart. Walmart shoes suck though. I've never had a pair of sneakers from Walmart that didn't kind of suck. Wonder if there's a shoe store in here somewhere though. I'm gonna take a look around and see. Probably is of some type. Let's see. Where to categories? I usually don't go shopping this much when I'm working. This is kind of unusual. Oh, do what it asks you to do. Silly freaking thing. Clothing and accessories. I guess it doesn't say shoes specifically. Okay, so there's Walmart. It looks like that's all that's down in there. Okay, I'm just gonna have to look. This thing's no help. Hardware store, mattress store, everything but shoes. Kind of literally. Oh well. Just have to remember to East 276. Gotta wait for all these left turners to go before I go. Oh, I got a whole lane here. I guess I didn't really have to. Alright. So we'll try this again. Maybe we'll see a shoe store down in here somewhere. Me and my shopping, I shop sporadically. I shop when I think of what it is that I think I need, whatever that may be at the moment. So I don't do it very often. The most shopping I do is grocery shopping. I do that more than anything else. But here in the last week, I've been shopping for all kinds of stuff. Shirts, mostly shirts. Phone accessories, so I can get this other phone up and running and see if the camera's better on it. Or so I'll have a backup camera too. That way I'll have, two cameras in case this one crashes. So it'd probably be good to have a backup. Now, thinking about cooler shoes, I wish I'd have brought my sandals is what I wish. But I can't work in sandals. I can't wear sandals into a yard. I could put them on after I get done working though. When I'm just driving, I can wear them, but I can't wear them going into pickup trailers. It would be stupid. It would be, number one, probably against their rules, because you got to have closed-sole shoes or closed-toe shoes in most of these factory yards. Penny's insurance, and it burnt down. Well, maybe it kind of sucks. The whole place burnt down. Wow. So, but yeah. So I've been doing way too much shopping. Way too much. And then I got that cooler coming. So all this stuff is coming to the house probably tomorrow and the next day. Bill's going to get inundated with a bunch of packages. I warned him, like, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff in. It's like, okay. Okay, about 16 more miles and we will be there. So we're going to go across these lakes down in here. Or across one of them anyway. We'll go across a couple of parts of one lake, I think is how it works. So this road to me is not anything new, but it might be to you, so I hope you enjoy seeing it. Again, we're on Highway 751 now. It changed up at this last turn we took. 751. That's a pretty big trailer RV park over here on the left. It's about a half or quarter mile long, I think. It's pretty long. There are a lot of RV parks in Texas. A lot. My mom and dad used to go down by Corpus Christi to one. They did that for years and years. I think it was a KOA down there at Lake Corpus Christi. They'd go in the winter when it was crappy in Craig, and then they'd come home in the spring when it was nice and toasty warm and pretty again. They had it figured out. So they did that until they just couldn't do it anymore. Until Dad got to where he couldn't deal with the trailer, really. But they really enjoyed doing that. I think it was kind of a social thing for them, too, because there were people down there that they knew. You know, they'd go back year after year. So they made friends and had activities, group activities and dinners and things like that in this RV park. Okay, here's part of the lake we got to cross. Some blue looking water now. That last one we crossed up on 380 didn't look this blue to me. It looked more green. Because I'm wearing tinted sunglasses too, so No telling what that's doing to my color perception. That guy was looking at his cell phone on a bridge. Oh my God. Some people are just too stupid for words. I'm sorry, but that's dumb. So there's a little RV park there that had cabins. Looked like, kind of like the KOA cabins, the fancier ones. Wills Point, 11 miles. So we're almost there. So this is another little branch off this same lake. It's all one big lake down in here. It's just got different branches going up different creeks. Wish I had my fishing pole and a fishing license. I'd stop and fish. I don't know what I'd do with them if I caught them. I don't have any place to cook them, so I guess it'd be catch and release. He looked pretty happy, didn't he? Happy bicycle rider. Just riding and smiling. Gotta love that. It's after 6 now. Of course, I spent probably an hour and a half looking around different stores. So I would have gotten here about 4:30 if I'd really humped it. If I'd got after it. So it's 97, so I don't know if it's cooling down yet. Probably not. It may not cool down very much. It just may not get enough cool air in here tonight to do much of cooling it down, so. We'll see how it goes in the morning. Okay, we're still on Highway 751, heading kind of more or less southeast. Cutting across here to Wills Point. We're almost there, about 8 miles out. Once I get into town, I'll stop and look at the different options for motels. I don't know how many options there's going to be, honestly. May not have very many. What's there? Who knows? I've only ever stayed at the one. But not feeling like paying that much money. I think last time it wasn't quite as bad, but the time before that they stung me for like $120. They jacked it up on me. And if I remember correctly, it was on a Monday night. So I think they start out, somebody was trying to explain that to me. Or maybe I was reading it online. Something about they start out Sunday and Monday with the highest rates, and then they keep going down the rest of the week if they're not booking or whatever. So I don't know. It seems to me like they just pick a price and stick with it, you know, and not gouge people, because that's basically what they're doing. They're just gouging. It's annoying. It kind of pisses me off. That obviously directly affects my bottom line. And I mean, what are they selling anyway? They're renting a room for one night, and they don't even do, you know, like, if they rent it to you for more than one day, they don't even do housekeeping anymore in between while you're there. So they're not paying maids to clean every room every day. I don't know, it's just bizarre to me. Annoyingly bizarre. A lot of stuff annoys me if you haven't noticed. A lot. Okay, got my electrolytes down. Those are kind of a little hard for me to drink sometimes because the taste is kind of, I mean, it's okay, but not my favorite stuff. I'd rather have coffee. Now if they would, if somebody would come up with coffee with electrolytes in it, I'd be all about that, you know. Coffee with electrolytes and no caffeine, that would be a great deal. I don't know how you mix in salty stuff into coffee, though, and get by with it. Because that's pretty much what electrolytes are, is salt and potassium and stuff. Well, potassium is similar to salt, isn't it? Akin, anyway. Whew, that was some bright hair on that girl. Hot pink. I've never had the nerve to do a color like that on my hair, so more power to her. Not that I ever really wanted to either, but, you know. Of course, that wasn't like an option when I was of an age where that would have been interesting to me to do. Well, that dog gets the hell out of the road before somebody kills it. Get out of the road, dog. You're going to die if you get out here. I don't understand these people who have dogs and just leave them outside running loose. And then they run out on the highway and get killed, and then they go get another dog and do the same damn thing with it. I just don't understand that. It's like, if you're going to have a dog, at least take care of it, you know, keep it under control. And I don't mean on a chain either. I mean preferably in a fenced yard where it's free to roam around in its area, but it'll keep it from getting killed on the highway or whatever. But you'd be surprised how many people just don't really care. It's like, no big deal. Oh, there's plenty of dogs, we'll just get another one. Guess that's what they're thinking, I don't know. I hate seeing dogs on the road dead. I hate that. Dogs or cats, actually. Any kind of pet critter, you know. So I can relate to that. I got dogs and cats. I don't even want to say a chicken on the road because I got chickens now, too. And yes, I have seen chickens hit on the road. People do the same thing with chickens that live on highways. They'll just throw them out there, let let them run around on the edge of the highway, and pretty soon one of them gets hit. Like, why would you do that? Why? I mean, I know fencing is expensive, but either put up a damn fence or don't have animals, maybe. You know, it's kind of an option. You don't have to have an animal if you don't have a proper place to have it. So, I don't know. Told you there's a lot of stuff that bothers me. That's one of the things. Lots of stuff annoys me. Not like you'd ever know it though, right? Okay, we're about 1.5 miles out of Wills Point. Let's figure out this motel deal when we get up here. I'm just going to pull over on the side of the road when I get here and try and figure out where to go. Normally I would just go to the motel I know, but for obvious reasons, I'm going to try something different if there's another option. If there's no other option, I guess that's where we'll go anyway. But if there's a decent option, I'd like to know about it. Because I'm not digging this, spending more than $100 for a motel for one night. I think it's insane. There was a roadrunner. Did you see that? He ran right across the road. Go, buddy, go. Roadrunner. I haven't seen a roadrunner for a while. We used to have one that would come up in the yard, but I haven't seen him for a couple years. I don't remember if he came through last year or not. But evidently, they have a pretty big area they will move around in. They cover a lot of ground. Of course, we've got bobcats and house cats and all kinds of cats out where we're at, and coyotes, so I don't know. Might not be too difficult for a roadrunner to get munched by something. Alrighty, now so this is Wills Point. This is the north side of Wills Point. I'm gonna pull over here somewhere in this parking lot, I think. Well, maybe if I can get in over here without somebody blocking me and figure out where to go. All right, and I've got just under half a tank of gas or fuel, diesel. It's not gas, it's diesel. All right, so we're gonna check the Oracle here, see what it has to say for itself. Lodging, hotels and motels. What do we got? Motel Rest. Go look at it. That's all I can do. Some of them you can tell just by looking that you don't want to stay there. Some of them, you know, if they're just real ratty or if they got a bunch of druggies hanging around, it's usually a good reason not to. It's usually a clue that it ain't a great place to be. Ah, dang. They could work on smoothing this stuff out a little bit. So I think they've got cobblestone streets down here. That's going to be rough. 519. Okay. Keep that number in mind. I may stop and top off this tank at that price. That's not bad. I mean, it's terrible. It's not good, but it's not as bad as a lot of what I've seen today, put it that way. The cheapest I've seen today was $4.99, but I didn't have enough room to put any on the truck. I still had quite a bit on it. Looks like they're ripping out half their downtown here. Well, what the heck's with that? Wow. Huh. Pulverizing a lot of that old concrete. Okay, I don't remember seeing another motel down this way. I was here before, except, well, I think there was one, but it looked like it was closed down. We'll see. May just have to do the expensive motel thing. I don't know. I'll double check here. Yeah, this is the only ones in town. There's a B&B here. I don't think I want to mess with that. I usually don't really pay attention to B&Bs, not in this country. I stayed in a lot of them when we went to England. My sister and her husband and I went to England years and years ago, in the 80s. And that's primarily where we stayed, was in B&Bs. But they're kind of different over there. A lot of them were in giant old manor houses and stuff that had lots and lots of rooms and suites and all that. 519 there. Farm diesel, $4.89. That doesn't do me any good. Can't use that. So I remember having breakfast over there at those B&Bs, and the host would come to the table with you in the morning for breakfast, and they'd sit there and have soft-boiled eggs and toast and tea. It was very civilized. Coffee. Okay, I think it's going to be on this side of the road. I don't remember seeing one here except an old one, I think, that was closed. Luna's Meat Market. This is kind of a neat little town, really. It's not a very big place. So I haven't seen a whole lot of it either. I've seen the main drags going through, and that's about it. Motel Rest. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe not. That's the one I'm thinking of. It's looks shut down to me. Yeah, I don't even think no, it's not even open. Or if it is, it's a dive. It's a really bad dive if it's open. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on down here past the other motel. There's another little town down here. I can check the fuel price. It's like 5 miles down, so it's no big deal. I'm not going to burn that much fuel going to look. But I'm going to go see what their fuel prices are and see if they got a motel down there. Just for grins. The Best Western's out here, not too far from from the factory I pick up at. So I mean, in that sense, it's real convenient because it's like a mile down the road. Best Western Plus. Plus what? I don't know what it's plus. It's like every other Best Western except it costs more. All right. It is nice though. I can't say it's not.